This is a 2016 Tacoma third generation 5 foot, or the short bed I should say. It's a 4 door. I've been able to set up this bike rack so I can mount two bikes, and the tonneau cover remains fully functional, and that's what I'm about to show you more or less how I did this setup. You will see that for the front I used this Yakima setup. I'll put the details in the comments. And then for the rear, I use these hooks that are pretty much standard hooks from Amazon, and they work just great. I've had them on there for quite some time. I decided to remove the tonneau cover in order to do the job. You don't necessarily need to do so, but it does make life a lot easier for this particular project. I started by aligning or choosing where I wanted the rear to sit. I actually mounted both bikes up there just to make sure that they both fit the way I wanted them. So I decided to start with the rear. Make sure you don't just randomly put them on there. So I started with the rear, I aligned it, I marked the holes where I wanted them to go. Obviously, this is going to be based on the width of your tires. I drilled the holes, and then you'll see that I decided to put some additional support underneath. So rather than simply using a washer, I decided to buy this thin plate at Home Depot, and then I cut it. You might need to take it somewhere to cut it if you don't have a metal cutting plate at home. I drilled the holes, obviously aligning with the holes that I had marked already on the cover up top. And then you'll see here that I went ahead and drilled through the tonneau cover and use the corresponding nuts and bolts. This was me just being extra paranoid. I didn't want a simple washer down there because obviously this is going to be driving, receiving a lot of shaking and moving around, and I didn't want these plates to simply rip out after some months of use. And they've actually been on there for a couple of years now without a single issue. By the time I'm making this video, this over audio, I've been using this setup for a couple of years now, and you can see that based on the original date of my previous video. So as you can see, this was the standard bolt-on. Once I had the rear set up, the way that I aligned the front was basically by taking measurements, basing it off of the front, or I should say the rear tire. So I measured from the center of the rear tire to the edge of the tonneau cover, as you can see right here, center tire to the edge of the cover. And then I went to the front and I made sure that the center was aligned with the edge. And then of course I marked the holes. This bolt is very important. This bolt for my mountain bikes, the fork of my mountain bikes were a little bit too thick. So the bolt that came with the setup was too short. I had to take it to a machine shop and get it extended. More on that on the notes, or send me a question and I can explain a little bit more. What I'm showing here is pretty standard. I decided to spray this thing with black primer. That way prevent any rust. Although it's unlikely that it was going to rust anyway. So these are the plates that are going to go underneath. I decided to put some silicone sealant on it just to minimize any water leaking from the setup. And this is how it ended up looking at the end. The two eye hooks here aligned perfectly. I've been using this for a couple of years now, and like I said, it's worked just great. It aligns with the front, as you can see, pretty stable, no issues at all. And here's the final look. Again, this bolt I had to get it extended so it can fit my mountain bike forks, which are a little bit thicker. The ones that come with the system, they're probably more set up for standard road bikes. As you can see, the back is simply strapped by some Velcro straps. Again, these are straight up from Amazon, Velcro straps. You can get them in different sizes. And this is how the final setup is. I've driven this for hundreds, if not thousands of miles at a time without any issue or concern of it coming loose or anything of the sort. So absolutely recommend it. Please take a screenshot of the following images here so you can track this particular front locking mechanism down. It's a locking blockhead made by Yakima. Here is the part number. Again, here's a part number. Please take a screenshot so you can track it down. I found it on Amazon. And here's an exact image. This is as of February 7th, 2024, $69 each. I want to emphasize this bolt was a little bit too short for my mountain bike. I had to go to a machine shop and ask them to extend it. I didn't have to pay for that because I knew the guy. Again, here's the image from the manufacturer. It will fit most hubs, 9mm times 100mm. These are the tie downs, again available on Amazon or probably any hardware store. And these are the Velcros that I used, again really inexpensive. These will wear out with the sun, so you might have to replace them periodically. As I mentioned, this setup allows me to completely open my tonneau cover without any obstruction. Obviously, once the bikes are out, the front brackets do not obstruct or hit the tonneau cover once it's open. This is exactly what I was looking for, and I am very happy with this setup. I don't have an image to post right now, but I didn't want to delay the posting of this video. I will post a short video or image showing the tonneau cover completely functional, but I assure you it works just fine. I hope you found this helpful. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, because as you know, that helps me with my videos and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, enjoy. Have a good one. Happy riding, happy driving.